We have them available at very competitive prices.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. This is your host, Brother Rafiq and Brother Muhammad Sarfaraz, and you are tuned into Path of the Pious, a show on the lives dedicated to the lives of the friends of Allah, those individuals who were blessed and who were radiated with the love of God and His creation and His creatures and all of that which was beloved to God, which was beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our guest today is Brother Allama Muhammad Shahnawaz. So, Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum to all the viewers and the listeners, and hope you enjoy the next hour with us, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And I am so happy to be here, especially with Allama Shahnawaz Saab, because 2 weeks ago he joined us.
Yeah.
And the whole atmosphere in the room changed because of the pearls of wisdom that he gave to us. And inshallah, hopefully, I'm looking forward to the session today, so you can feel the atmosphere again today, inshallah.
Inshallah. And 2 weeks ago we were discussing Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, rahimahullah ta'ala, and this week we are discussing
Maulana
Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, rahimahullah ta'ala, Muqaddas Sirruhu al-Aziz. Very famous, extremely famous spiritual personality in the world. He's buried in Konya, in the city of Konya, which is in southern Turkey. He wasn't always there. He was born in Afghanistan, and his father was Sultanul Ulama Burhanuddin, rahimahullah ta'ala, and Burhanuddin Balkhi, and he took his son just 100 years before the Mongols had invaded Afghanistan. He took him and they away from Afghanistan, and they migrated to different cities. They traveled to different cities and settled in Konya in Turkey afterwards. So yeah, and Brother Sarfaraz, you got a book on Maulana?
Yeah. We got a book. It's a beautiful book, actually. It's got so many pictures and look,
Amazing.
It's
Amazing.
And the beautiful thing is, it's like, and some of the stories, you read the story and the story starts and it finishes on the same page.
Oh.
That's the beauty of it. And you think, wow, it's already finished, and it's quite difficult to understand because you got to have certain level of understanding yourself.
Yeah.
For you to be able to understand it, and obviously, the translation is
and the English
never the
translation
same.
will not do justice. Will not do justice. Yeah.
And Maulana Rum himself said that silence is the language of God.
Wow.
And all else is a poor translation.
Exactly.
So if you just look at that itself, and then you look at the translation, which is brilliant book, absolutely amazing, but it's I think I would love to read it in the original text.
Yes.
It would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So did I say Burhanuddin?
Bahauddin.
is his father. Burhanuddin was one of his teachers. He was one of his sheikhs. Sheikh Shahnawaz, fire away. Who was Rumi? Tell us about him. Tell us a little bit about him.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin wa sahbihi al-kiram al-ajma'in, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Thanks a lot for giving me this blessed opportunity to discuss on Maulana Rum. He's a personality who influenced my life. He's an inspiration. Rumi is a symbol of love. Rumi is the symbol of ma'arifah. Rumi is the symbol of knowledge. Rumi is the symbol of ecstasy. Rumi is the symbol of oneness of God. So Rumi, who is Rumi? I think very short description, Rafiq, Brother Rafiq, you have given a very beautiful short description, like where he was born and how he migrated from Balakh to, he traveled via different Arabian routes, and finally he got settled in Konya. So I'm not going to touch that part. So who is Rumi? A Rumi is a mystic. And first we need to understand what is mystic is all about. Mystic is one who solves the mystery of this universe, one who ponder in the mystery of this universe, one who ponder in himself. Who is he? From where he came from? Basically, the Rumi, ideology of Rumi evolves around four things. One is Minallah. We came from that one divine, one God. And then is Ma'allah. When you are in this world, when you exist in this world, you live with Allah. And when you live with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this third stage is you merge yourself as if you are living in Allah. That is Minallah, Ma'allah, Fillah. And then that's if you look at the whirling dervishes, they have some stages. Yeah, it's basically with the whirling dervishes, it's choreographed. So they have some pattern. It's not like they are randomly whirling. Yeah. So first they start slowly, and again the speed little bit increases. And in the third stage, that is the stage of ecstasy. The third stage is they see that, okay, they are living in Allah, Fillah. So the speed increases. And then finally the speed, actually, it just decreases. That is ilallah. Ilallah means finally you turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You leave this world, you leave this body here in this world, and you travel towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Rumi was a propagator of this of this ideology. Minallah, Ma'allah, Fillah, and Ilallah. So, and Rumi is a mystic, basically. Mystic is, he is not a conventional Sufi. He is not a traditional Sufi. And his Sufism is different. His Sufism is different from other Sufism. He's not basically, nobody, Muslim world cannot say that Rumi belongs to us. Neither the Christians can say that Rumi belongs to us. The Jews can't say the Rumi belongs to us. If you look at current world, the Western people are doing amazing research on Rumi. Rumi message has reached. Looks like he got the face of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. The manifestation of Rahmatul Lil Alameen is reflecting in the face and in the person of Sayyidina Jalaluddin al-Rumi alayhi rahmah. That's why his message is reaching universally. So Rumi's world is different. He's not confined to one religion. He's not confined to one sect. He's not confined to one group or community. He says in a very beautiful couplet, so I would like to sing. The Masnavi is always should be sung, if with your permission.
Yes.
Please.
And sorry, before you continue, one of the reasons why I was so keen to get Brother Shah Nawaz in, because this is what we used to do in our lessons. He used to teach us, and he used to just start reciting the Masnavi and then translating it, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he says amazing. As I said, I just wrote some statement. The world of Rumi is neither exclusively to Sufi, nor Hindu, nor Jew, nor Christian. It is a state of an evolved human, a human who is not adhering or bound to any cultural limitations. He in one of his couplets, in a beautiful couplet, he say, Mazhab-e ishq az hama diha judast. Mazhab-e ishq az hama diha judast. Ashiqara mazhabo millat khudast. Mazhab-e ishq, the path of ishq, the path of love is different from all religions. Love is not restricted to some creed or some sect or an actual Sufi who doesn't know the labels. You want to understand the actual Sufi? Actual Sufi doesn't care about the labels. He's a Shia or Sunni, he's a Salafi. He moved beyond all these labels. He has reached, he took himself into that dominion where he sees only God. So these labels doesn't matter for him. He said, like, mazhab-e-ishq, the love, the path of ishq is different from all religions. And for the lovers, the mazhab and millat and religion, for lovers, it's only one. That's he, that's who Allah. So this is what is Rumi is all about. One who is telling you, who is motivating you, don't get into all these debates and all. Just get inside you. You will find him. This is what is the message of Sayyidina Jalaluddin ar-Rumi. This is what he is, a mystic. His message is so universal. He's so pleasant and pleasing and so lovable. That's the reason people from West are doing amazing research. I've known there's a scholar, there's a person called Franklin Lewis of University of Chicago. He has written a book called Past and Present, East and West, Rumi.
Wow, look at that.
An amazing biography, an amazing research gone into that book. Amazing research. And he has taken the historic evidences from the disciples of Rumi, called Aflaki, and from the disciples of his father, Bahauddin al-Walad. He has taken amazing evidences and he's recorded an amazing biography of Rumi. It's completely, I can say that, uncensored. Everything is open about his life.
Wow.
It's beautiful. So this is what is Rumi all about. And last, one more couplet. What is Rumi again? Even though he is into the path of love, but he tells that Man bandaye Quranam, garjan daram. I am the slave of Quran as long as I live. I am the slave of Quran. What Rumi is, he is just giving you the essence of Quran. He is from the ulul albab, people of essence, what Quran says. He says that Man bandaye Quranam, garjan daram, man khake rahe Muhammad Mukhtaram. I am the dust in the footpath of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am the dust. So whatever I am preaching, either it is from Quran or from the beloved prophetic tradition. So this is what is Rumi in very short. You can keep on saying about him. So we can move into other dimensions, inshallah.
Subhanallah. He says, I'm merely a guest born in this world to know the secrets that lie beyond it.
MashaAllah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And this explains it when he says that I have come to this world
Exactly.
to explain.
Yeah.
You know what you said about the mystic?
Yeah.
This is what he is. And the certain way he explains certain things, they're so small in the words and in sentences, but so deep in meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
Alhamdulillah.
Exactly.
Wow. I mean, that was what we were discussing. That we're going to talk about Rumi, or we're doing this show, Path of the Pious. But how is Rumi, you can say, relevant in our time?
Do you want to tell them why we actually decided? Because of Shaykh al-Islam's topic during Itikaf. Because what happened, Shaykh al-Islam, he said that, he's going to discuss Maulana Rum and the Masnavi Sharif. And so we thought, okay, it's going to start tonight, basically.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we could talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe discuss a bit about Maulana Rum.
And give a teaser.
And give a little teaser. And because I'm really looking forward to the lectures.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I hope all the listeners are as well. So we thought we'll have a little teaser, just a little touch on Maulana Rum.
Yeah.
See, would you call it? Obviously, we won't be doing justice, especially us, me especially. But, Shanawaz Bhai obviously studied the Masnavi, so it's a bit different. But listening it from Shaykh al-Islam,
it's going to be a different experience.
It's going to be different. And especially, I've heard it before, but they've always done it in one lecture. But they have time to discuss it in Ramadan, during Itikaf, when everybody's sitting there for the blessings,
Yeah.
They're sitting there for the spirituality. Great people travel from all over Pakistan to sit Itikaf there. And there was people, I heard one of the scholars, Muhammad Rana Muhammad Idris, he mentioned names of certain scholars and big shiukh from Karachi. They've also had dreams of the Prophet ﷺ. They have regular dreams of the Prophet ﷺ, but they always come and sit at the kaf in Lahore. And he asked his sons, why do you, his sons asked him, why do you go to Lahore and sit down? Why don't you sit here? And then he said, look at the work that Shaykh al-Islam is doing. So I'm going there to get the barakah from him.
Perfect.
So imagine Shaykh al-Islam talking about the mystic, the man with the secrets.
Exactly.
Subhanallah.
Subhanallah. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Can continue. I mean, so you were, continue that. I think
So
you
he is relevant? Is that what your question is? Yeah. See, first thing we need to understand what Masnavi talks all about. What Masnavi talks. Masnavi has got thousands of.
I wanted to ask you. You can mix this question in with it. There's like we were discussing Imam Ghazali, rahmatullah alayhi, last week. And his story to me seems very similar, that he was a scholar, a big, great Imam, scholar. Everybody all over the world used to come and listen to him. He was a practicing scholar as well. He wasn't that, he was not just like, we get a lot of people today. He was a man who used to practice wherever he used to preach. But towards the end of his life, last 10, 12 years, he decided that this is not leading him towards the truth. And it's a similar case with Maulana Room.
Exactly.
He falls in love with his sheikh. So there's two stories. But my question is, this is what everybody, we all kind of hear this, but my question is that if you look at somebody like that, who's practicing, who's preaching, who's a great imam, great scholar, people from all over the world are coming to him to gain knowledge, to take ijazah, to do so much, and then he himself says that I can't reach the truth whilst I'm doing all of this. So what chance do we have here sitting today?
Fine. Perfect.
And who do we go to then?
Fine.
To learn?
Fine. Perfect. So to answer this question, I'm going to mix up many things in one, inshallah. So first, let's understand what Masnavi is. Masnavi is full of couplets, thousands of couplets written in 6 books, and from Quran, from prophetic traditions, and he talks about nafs and how to counter nafs and shaitan, and many things are segregated in 6 volumes, and thousands of couplets are there. But I don't think that anyone has read thousands of couplets. It's all like it's whatever you want, how relevant you are, and the issues you face. Basically, you go to that chapter, you try to read that chapter, what Maulana is saying. That is how people refer to Masnavi. They don't read everything what is there in Masnavi. So what is Masnavi is all about? Masnavi is the essence of Quran. What Maulana himself tells, what is Masnavi? So I would like to introduce Masnavi through an amazing scholar, amazing poet, a Sufi called Maulana Nuruddin Jami alayhi rahmah. He said, I'll sing. Manche goyam wasfe Ali Janab. What praise I have for Maulana. How would I praise him? Manche goyam wasfe Ali Janab. Manche goyam wasfe Ali Janab. Nist Paighambar Wale Darad Kitab. What praise I have for him. He's an amazing personality. One thing, he's not a Paighambar, he's not a prophet, but he had a book.
Subhanallah.
He's not a Paighambar, he's not a prophet, he's not a messenger, but he had a book. So then he says, Masnavi Manavi Maulavi Hast Quran Dar Zabane Pahlavi. The Masnavi, a Masnavi full of essence, full of lub. What is it? It is essence of Quran in the language of Persia. Essence of the Quran in Persian language. This is what is Masnavi is all about. And again, Maulana, what he says about Masnavi, he said, Maze Quran Maghzara Bardashtem. From the Quran, I have taken the essence. I have taken maghz. good bolte na. Maghz, I have taken the maghz from the Quran. Maghz Quran, maghz ra bardashtem. Post ra behre khara bugzashtem. Post, the skin, I left the skin in front of donkeys to graze upon. He said, I have taken the essence. The Masnavi is the essence of Quran. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let me relate how it is related now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Holy Quran, Inna fi khalqi samawati waqtilafi al-layli wal-nahari la-ayatil li-ulil albab. Inna fi khalqi samawati wal-ard. In the creation of this heavens and earth, lot of signs are there. There are signs for those people who ponder, for those people, for the people of essence. Maghz Quran. Those who take the essence from Quran, they have that essence. The people of essence would ponder and they will figure out the secrets of this creation. And Quran goes on and say, وَالَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. And those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all their positions, in standing position, while they walk, while they stand, while they sit, even in their while they sleep, ala junubihim wa yatafakkaruna, and they ponder in creation. Wa yatafakkaruna fikr. Wa yatafakkaruna fi khalqi samawati wal ard. How this whole creation came into existence. What are we? This is what is the secret. Maulana Rum took it from Quran. And as he said, like, I am the slave of Quran, it means that the whole Masnavi is not going against the Quran. For some of the verses, it looks like it might be a blasphemy, what he is saying, but it is not. His intention is not. He may mean different meaning. You need a proper teacher so that he explains you the ma'ani and ma'arif, what is embedded in those couplets. That's the reason not many Islamic scholars have done work on Maulana Rum. If you look at Islamic scholarship is quiet actually when you take the name of Maulana Rum. Not many actually discuss it. Only the people who are in the path of Sufism, they discuss Maulana Rum. Because he had only Masnavi. In terms of prose work, there is a book called Fihi Ma Fihi. He has written one prose. He has written one book. And that book, that doesn't appeal as Masnavi. Yes. So the Masnavi, how it relates actually? It tells you about the secret of creation. What is that secret of creation? Masnavi tells this. I would like to just tell 2 verses. There are some 5 verses where he talks about the evolutionary stages of a man. He talks about the scientific evolution of a man, how he evolves. And based on a beautiful verse of Quran, in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, أَوَلَمْ يَرَى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا. The people who don't believe in me, people who don't believe that this is the word of God, don't they see that the heaven and earth was a single unit? Don't they see it was a single unit? And we separated them. We tore them apart. We split them apart. And then I created every living being through water. And every living being, every living organism existed. Got the existence. Afala yu'minin, don't you believe in it? So this information Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives 1500 years back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, scientific information. Now the scientist mentioned that, oh yeah, there was an explosion, you have a Big Bang theory, and apart from it has moved away from Big Bang theory, more advanced theories have come in, and even they have proved that, okay, there was an explosion, out of that explosion this whole solar system came into existence, and everything, the organisms, everything, it's all started with a chemical compound, with a liquid compound. So he talks about this haqiqa in his Masnavi. He says, as jamadi murdam wa nami shavam waznuma murdam bihaywani barzadam. He said, like, as jamadi, I was in an inorganic state. I was in an inorganic state. That is, I was something, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, a single item, a single unit, and I separated it. And he said, when he separated it, I was in a state which either I cannot grow nor I cannot decrease, a kind of jamadi, like as a stone, something like that. Then what happened? I turned towards a plant, transformations. I turned as a plant, as something which can grow. So he's mentioning, he's just trying to give an example. I turned as a plant. That is a transformation. I died as a jamadi. That is, I died as something which is inorganic. And then I became a plant. And after I became a plant, what happened? The next transformation was like I became a beast. I became a beast. The transformation, because that's how the whole creation came into existence. That's how the man came into existence. He said, like, I became a beast. Amardum as haywani wa Adam shudam. And then after beast, my transformation was towards Adam. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَاكُمْ ثُمَّ صَوَّرْنَاكُمْ ثُمَّ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ. He said, like, first I created you, then I perfected you. There was a state, there was a evolution going on. A chemical evolution was going on, actually, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the originally وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ تِينٍ. And indeed we originated man from the extract chemical ingredients of clay. Shaykh al-Islam's translation is amazing. He has done an amazing translation in more detail. You can just go and verify this verse. This is what Maulana Rumi is reflecting. As he said, like, I have taken the essence. I'll explain what essence he has taken in coming verses. He said, like, I was in an inorganic state, and then I was transformed. I transferred myself to a plant, and then vegetation, and from plant I transformed to beast. So a same single being is getting transformed into many stages, and then I left. And then I became Adam. Then I became a perfect human being. And then after I became Adam, what happened? After I became Adam, do I need to worry about my death? I have died many times. Till I became Adam, I died many times. And I never know what happened to me. I don't realize my death. Because I have been transformed into many stages, and I don't realize what happened in my last stage. And then he says, like, okay, and I'll come to the climax. He said, like, and then after I became Adam, then again I die. I die and then I go to Barzakh. I die and I go to Barzakh. That Barzakh is not someone who anyone can perceive what is that being. You leave your body and you move to the next stage. And nobody can understand what is that next stage is. Allah only knows what is that next stage. What kind of existence you will have. Only Allah knows. Not anyone knows. How you will be, Allah knows. Not everyone knows. You can't perceive in your aql. You can't understand by your aql. This is what he says, that, okay, then even that being should go fana. Even that being should perish. Because it's wajhu rabbika zal jalali wal ikram. So Allah is going to remain. Then finally, I think I'm moving across many stages. And finally, even after moving across many stages, I have to die. I have to die in the sense, I have to get into the state of nothingness. All these stages, I was there something. And I have to go into the state of nothingness. And he said, finally, Bas, Adam kardam, Adam jun, urghanu, go yadam ke inna ilayhi rajihun. And finally, he said, you are nothing. You are Adam. Even now you are Adam. And what is that? Inna ilayhi raji. We all should return towards Allah subhanahu. Summa turaduna ila alimil ghaibi wa shahada. Quran says, you will be returned towards alimul ghaibi wa shahada. Fa yunabbiukum bima kuntum ta'alamun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will inform you what you have been doing all these days in this world. So what he is trying to mention here is, your previous state, you forget your previous state when you go to the next state. You don't realize that. That's the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I might be a little bit, this is my view and opinions. This is what I get. This is the experience what I get from the Masnavi. And see, if you look at the haqiqah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقًا. You have many stages, nutfa, alaqa, muzgha. Tell me one thing, do you remember the stage of nutfa? Do you remember the stage of muzgha? Same person. Do you remember the stage of alaqa? No. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُم وَأَنْتُمْ وَلَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. Like you were in the womb of your mother. He took you out from the womb of your mother, And you came out as you didn't know anything. You didn't know anything at
I
all.
think it's Surah Baqarah, verse
Yeah,
28.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
You didn't know
That's
anything.
5
وَجَعَلَ
pages.
لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. I think I forgot that ayat. Then he gives you the hearing power, the sight, and then he gives you the capability to think everything. It's all given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, but do you remember that state? We don't remember that state at all. Similarly, what is happening when you transform from this world? This is what Maulana is saying. Why should I fear death? I have been dying many times. I have been transforming myself into different stages. So when you move from this world to other world, that is what is going to happen, Sarfraz Bhai. Is like in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, قَالُوا يَا وَيْلَنَا. Damn to those who woke us up from a beautiful sleep. So the second stage is a beautiful sleep. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that. But Quran says it's going to be a beautiful sleep. And when someone wakes you up, you will say that, damn, what happened? वाइल हो तुम पर, तुमने उठा दिया हमें, मैं तो सो रहा था, खूबसूरत नींद थी, तुमने जगा दिया. Then people will say, no, this is the promise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave through his prophets, that you will be resurrected. So what he is trying to say is your previous stage, right? Don't worry about the dead. You will forget about your previous stage, because you keep transforming and you are dying in every stage. So he is asking you to face it. He is asking you. So what he's trying to say is, this is going to happen to you. Why don't you get into that state now? Just ponder. Slowly, just move yourself in a biological human development phase. Just move yourself back. So you came out as a small kid. What you were previously, like al-muzgha, and then alaqa, then nutfa. So these were all your biological human development phases. So get yourself back to nutfa. And before nutfa, what you were? هل أتى على الإنسان سورة الإنسان, first verse. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. Get to the state of nothingness, you will realize the divine beauty. This is what is the secret Maulana is telling. Don't wait. And one of my beautiful amazing Shaykh, his name is Shah Kamal. He's the peer of Hazrat Tipu Sultan alayhi rahmah. Shah Kamal. He says आज दीदार नक़द है हमको, आज दीदार नक़द है हमको. That is, the deedar is cash. That is, if you do a cash transaction, it's immediate. You sell something, I give cash. Ayyuhal mu'minun sawfa tarawun. It's like he's from the maqam of ishq and irfan. He said, Ayyuhal mu'minun, you will see him later. For us, it's naqd. Now means the moment you go into the emptiness and nothingness, you see him, you realize him, you realize that divine beauty. This is what is the secret of Masnavi. This is what Maulana, how it is related. This is what he is talking about, the biological human development. He is talking about the chemical development, how organisms existed in this world, how everything got created. He's just correlating everything with the Quranic science. So, in nutshell, this is what I said. Yes.
Even I just opened up one of the translations here. It says, Surah Baqarah, verse 28. How can you deny Allah, whereas you were lifeless,
Yeah, exactly.
and He gave you life? Then He will cause you to die,
Exactly.
and will again bring you back to life, and then to Him you will be returned.
Exactly. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. Look at how different states are. It's like you're basically you're keeping yourself busy, and he's transforming into different stages, and you don't know. Do you know the state where he said lam yakun shay'an mazkura? Like you were someone who not to be like you're lifeless at that time. You were Adam, basically. Do you remember that state? No, that's what is going to happen actually. Even in the second stage, you're not going to remember anything. He's going to transform you to any other world where you're going to start a new life.
Yeah. See, I think it's very important to have a teacher when you're reading the Masnavi, or because it could be very confusing for some people.
That's what he wanted Shams Tabriz, right?
Yeah.
Maulana, when this whole thing ignited in Maulana, Maulana, how many years he spent with Shams Tabriz? 2 years. Not more than that.
42 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he met Shams Tabriz during his 30s, maybe in the initial 40s. Different reports. He spent 2 years. You know what happened? There was a big conflict. Maulana was from an elite class. Maulana was not someone who is so poor writing a poetry and they had to please the rulers and all. No.
Yes.
He was from a very rich, noble, elite class. He was a kind of, for his clan, he was the head. And he is something next to ruler. Because the ruler of that time of Konya, he was a student of Maulana. So Maulana was the first citizen of Konya, first citizen of Anatolia. So that level of, and at the same time, what happened is he fell in love with Shams Tabriz, who is a wanderer, who didn't have anything at all. He was just wandering from one place to other. And the thing is, like, he never, like, he always wanted, in Maqalat Shams, he mentions that he always wanted someone to whom he can offload the knowledge, to whom, because he was from Persia. Like, he was not only having the secrets of Quran, he was holding the secrets of ancient religions, monotheistic religions. So that was Shams, basically. He just wanted to offload some, he was looking for someone with a spark so that he can ignite it more. So he saw Rumi alayhi rahma. He thought like, yeah, Rumi matched my protocol. Okay, let me catch him. At the same time, Rumi was looking for someone, because the thing is, like, Rumi was into books. Rumi and his father, all these people actually lived in the period of Shaykh Imam Fakhruddin Razi alayhi rahma. Fakhruddin Razi. Shams Tabriz, he mentions one of sentence of Razi. Razi mentions during his death, he said like, I wasted my time in debates. What I gathered was just words, nothing else. So the words were there with Maulana. Words were there, but not the essence. The haqiqat was not there, not the ma'ani. He was not having the ma'ani. The ma'ani was taught by Sayyidina Shams Tabriz alayhi rahma. It was like, it's a very famous, that how they meant it. Where he was mentioning, like, he was teaching, Maulana Rum was teaching his students with huge books, hadith, tafsir and all. A wanderer, like, like hum bolenge na yaar koi pagal majzoom malang banda hai. Malang. So he was just passing by Maulana and he saw like he was preaching something. Then he went to Maulana. Maulana, what is this? He said like, look at the statement of Maulana. It was so proud statement. Look at what kind of proudness he would be. Jesus ke tu na dani. You don't know what is this. Go away. You would have done that, obviously. Go away from here. So he went there. When he got a chance, he took all the books and put everything in the pond. And then Maulana, what happened? You crazy guy. You took all my books. It's all handwritten book. No printing press was there, right? So he took so he jumped in the pond and he took all the books and dusting the books. It was as it is how he put them in the pond. And Maulana said, what is this? Shams Tabriz, what is this? What is this? He said like, Jesus, there's something you don't understand. Basically, I met one Sufi in Konya, a Sufi, who was a very learned Sufi. He's a doctor by profession in America. But he spends time in Konya. He spends around 3 to 4 months time. Wow. He used to carry masnavi and he used to wear black color jubba and same kind of cap. He said this incident, basically, it's not authentic. Okay. He said this incident, there are so many reports. Among those reports, this is also one of the reports. It's up to you. You want to take it, you take it. The authentic report, what he said, and also I saw this report in one of the authentic biographies written by Franklin Lewis and many other West scholars, and they mentioned like Maulana Rum, during his stay in Konya, he traveled to Syria. He traveled to Damascus, where he met Ibn Arabi, where he met this disciple and student of Ibn Arabi, Sadruddin Kunawi, and he also met Shams Tabriz there. This is one of the report. Okay. So there they got the spark, and he took Shams Tabriz back into Konya. So this is what happened basically. It's an amazing personalities basically. This spark, you know what happens actually whenever the love. Basically, I'm so passionate to talk about this. I'm so passionate. So Maulana Rum, right? The love, we read Quran. What is Quran? It's a message of our God. We read Quran, but we are reading Quran and again. It's a message from that beautiful God. But have we ever realized that where is that God actually? Have we connected ourselves, our hearts and souls got connected with Him? No. We are reading the message. But in the case of mystics, in the case of people like Gnostics, like ascetic, like Maulana Rum, they are a bit different. Even listening at a music, they reach, they reach to the position of Vajd, and they just whirl in ecstasy. I would like to mention one beautiful incident. It is their Masnavi couplets, where Maulana was walking. It was just passing by, and a musician was holding a tumbi, an instrument wired in a wood, and a cup which is covered in skin. Tang, tang, tang. He was just playing that instrument. Maulana got enraged. Look at that. You know what he was saying? He was saying, look, this is what the ashiqs. For ashiqs, you don't need a big stories. For ashiq, that's it. He just goes there. For ashiq, that's what all happens. He was playing that tumbi, he was playing that musical instrument. Maulana came in vexed, and he just whirls and whirls and whirls. While whirling, he just utters these couplets. He said like, Khushk taro, khushk chobo, khushk post. Az kuja mi ayadi awaaz dost. Khushk taro. The wires are khushk, dry. They cannot produce any sound. How did they appear? How did they exist? It's from the faiz of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the faiz of wujudi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It exists. And the chob, the skin cannot produce any sound. And the wood cannot produce any sound. Neze taro, neze, from where my God, my divine beauty, my Allah, from where He is speaking? And again He responds, Neze taro, neze chobo, neze post, not from wood, not from skin, and not from wires. Khud ba khud mi aayadi awaaz dost. My God, my Allah appears as it is. My Allah appears in all these sounds. It's He manifests in all these sounds. These are all nothing actually for me. I am listening to His music. I am listening to His sound. So this is called mystics. This is called ashiqs and true arif. These are all the people who attain the level of ma'rifah and haqiqah. So,
a lot of Qawwals mention these lines. Just touched on, sorry to interrupt. Sama.
Yeah, Sama.
What is where does
Sama
that
is
fit
music.
in? Yeah.
I've got my own theory on this as well, to be honest with you, because as obviously living in London, we see a lot of clubs, pubs, sometimes even when you're walking late at night or just going from Idara, when we're going home sometimes, after Mafla Zikr, and sometimes we see pubs and people standing outside a club or something, and we hear loud music, and some people are drunk and they're in that state where, if we didn't know any better, if you just saw them, you'd think he's a malang. And in his own way, he's a malang.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we know that they're drunk and they're listening to music and they're listening to, imagine if somebody came from somewhere who didn't know this culture. What would he think of these people? That he's just a malang.
Yeah.
He's enjoying himself, and the way you just said that Maulana Room started doing, would you call it raps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's intoxicated.
Yes, of course. And then what it was, this is my theory. I always believed in this.
Yeah, exactly.
That, everybody's looking for something. Doesn't matter what your background is. You could be Muslim, you could be non-Muslim, any religion, atheist, whatever you are.
Exactly.
You're always looking for something.
Exactly.
Why? Because you come from nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're on a journey where you will end up as nothing. So we're here, and the soul is always searching for something.
Exactly.
And even these people who get drunk and who do whatever and do wajd on music, in reality, they're trying to search for something, but they don't know themselves what they're searching for.
Exactly.
That's always been my theory.
Exactly.
And what you just said, that exactly proves the point.
And there's one beautiful, one more couplet of Saadi, as he was mentioning about, So he said like, Dile ke ishq ko sabir buat sangas. Heart, which is, you claim that you are ashiq, you claim that, I love Allah, I love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You claim that you are ashiq, but you are so patient. You have patience and you don't want to meet your beloved.
Subhanallah.
How can ishq and sabr, right? How can ishq and doesn't have that ishtiyaq, that shauq to meet your ma'shuq, to meet your beloved? Dile ke aashiq o sabir buvat sang magar sangast as ishq tab saburi hazar far sangast. Ishq and sabr, ishq and patience, they have a distance between 1,000 miles.
Wow.
So you can't bring two things together. Always when you say you are aashiq and you are lover, always there ek tadap honi chahiye na dil mein ki mera maula kahan hai, mera Rabb kahan hai. Because you are listening to his kalam, which was delivered through the blessed Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that is what happened to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. He was listening to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maula, ab to dekhna chahta hu, ab to dikha. I want to see you. So these are all these questions are solved by mystics.
See, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You know the way that Maulana Rumi explains and gives examples.
Yeah.
I think that's what hits home really.
Exactly.
That you understand clearly. Oh, is this how it is? We so many times we hear that in this world, the people of Allah, the awliya Allah, they're really, very free.
Yeah.
They don't care what happens in the world. Some we hear stories all the time that somebody made a great loss, and they looked at their heart, like Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, and they said, Alhamdulillah. Then they said, oh, sorry, it wasn't your boat, it wasn't your business, it was somebody else's. And then again, they looked at their heart, Alhamdulillah. They said, well, how come you said Alhamdulillah to both when you made a loss and you made a profit?
Yeah.
And he said, I wanted to see if it had an effect on my heart. And I said, Alhamdulillah, it didn't, because my heart had no effect. So that's why I said Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
And things like that you hear, but you don't understand. Oh wow, that is a serious state. Maulana Rum gives an example. He goes, that when you're sleeping, your soul leaves your body.
Yeah.
Which is obviously it's proven. Yeah,
it's proven.
So he said, look, when your soul leaves your body, what happens? You're still connected with this world. Yeah, but you're not aware of what's happening. Because you've left the body. Yeah. So when it's the same thing, what happens to the awliya is they're still connected to this world.
Yeah.
But they always pray that, Ya Allah, the state that we're in when we're sleeping, that even though we're connected to this world, but our soul is connected to somewhere else.
Exactly.
This is what happens to the awliya whilst they're awake in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
So he uses examples of businessmen. He used examples of, doctors, so many different people, that this is what happens to them. And if you look at it like that, then we can understand the statement. When they make a profit or they make a loss, they look at their heart and nothing reacts, nothing changes.
Exactly.
Same way when you're sleeping, something's happening around you, you're not aware of it because you're somewhere else. You're connected somewhere else.
Exactly. Beautiful words. Amazing.
And this is how Maulana explains things like this.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to understand.
Yeah, exactly. He gives a lot of examples. Like if you look at all his 6 books, like he just, even what he does, right? Any small incident happens with him, with his family, he writes couplets. So he puts that in couplet form. Anything with any transaction happens with the ruler of that time, any kind of interaction. That's what basically the whole Masnavi came into existence. Like disciples of Maulana, they used to read Manatiq al-Tayr and Asrar Nama of Sheikh Fariduddin Attar. Yeah. So the Maulana's one of his disciples, Hussamuddin Chalabi, I don't remember. He expressed a desire to Maulana. Maulana, why don't you write something? All our group basically, they are more influenced by Fariduddin Attar. So why don't you put something? They are very fond of his poetry. That poetry is of Haqiqa, Ma'arifa. You are so accomplished scholar, and you were in the company of Shams Tabriz. Why don't you put something for our students and disciples, your students and disciples. Then Maulana started this Masnavi. So whatever comes in front of him, he put that in a couplet, because that is how the poet thinks. Yeah. So he always thinks that, okay, how can I take lesson from each and every incident?
He uses prisoners
Yeah.
and officers. He said there's a prisoner in prison, an officer, and when they both sleep, they're both in the same state. Then nobody's a prisoner, nobody's an officer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Because they're both free then, because they've left, the soul has left their body.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And also he on the same lines, he also mentions one beautiful couplet where he says like, when the death comes, "Chu ahang raftan kunat janaba," when you are supposed to leave this world, your body is going to lie down here. What difference does it make? You die on a throne or on a piece on a floor. What difference it makes?
Yeah.
Anyway, you have to die.
You have to die,
You
you have to go
What
empty-handed.
difference? You're gonna go empty-handed. Okay, even the Alexander the Great, he conquered the whole world. But what happened actually? He left empty-handed. Anyway, you're gonna go empty-handed. You're not gonna take any money or car or your flats or whatever with you. So what difference it makes to die on a throne or die on a normal floor? So these things are it ignites you to think.
Yeah, I mean, what you mentioned about the experiences, there's this one story, and maybe he encountered the situation and he just wrote it down.
Yeah.
A man gave a dirham to 4 people, and one of them was a Persian, and he said, "I will buy angur with this."
Uh-huh.
And another man, he was an Arab, and he said, "No, I'm going to buy inab with this, not angur." And he said, "So-and-so, you, so-and-so," to the Persian man. A third man came, he was a Turk, and he said, "No, I'm going to decide what we're going to buy with this." And he said, "It's not going to be inab, it's not going to be angur, it's going to be uzum." And the fourth man came, a Greek person, and he said, no, you guys, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to buy istafil with this." And they started arguing, fighting with each other, hitting each other. And the Maulana Rum, he says that if there had been a master around who had an understanding of what was going on, who knew their languages, he would have explained to them that angur, inab, uzum and istafil are Persian, Arabic, Turkish and Greek words for grapes.
For the same
thing.
Yeah.
And so the kind of metaphors and
Exactly.
the proverbs he
Look at
uses
deep
are
meaning.
very
in that,
relevant.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've got about a minute now.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to carry on, but I mean, Rumi, he inspired the Ottoman Empire, an empire that, according to one way of calculating it, was an empire that lasted the longest in human history. Right? The British Empire lasted 100 years, and there were loads of ups and downs. What they, where they went and how they took over, how they conquered, what they did with the people. But if you have a look at the Ottoman Empire, it ruled over 3 continents: Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and it spread into up to Austria in Europe. And it was more or less a multicultural empire. So Rumi gave life to that in many ways.
Exactly.
Sultan Mehmed, who conquered Istanbul or Constantinople, one of his sheikhs was a Rumi, a Mevlevi. He was from that tariqah. So the impact is far-reaching and deep and amazing, profound impact.
Yeah.
Are there any last words you want to kind of last points you want to
Well, I'll leave the last words to Lama Shanwaz. But the day and age we live in, like now, everything's bite size. Everything's quite small. Small lectures. Bite size. Everything's small. Mini clips.
Yeah.
We can't watch long. We've started doing small clips. Give everybody a taster. I think for that reason alone, I think Masnavi Sharif would be really good for the youth of this country, especially because in your busy schedule,
we should.
If they just read some of the pages, most of the stories are really, really small, really short, and they should definitely try to read it because it's not like a whole massive book, small little thing. So. Just advice for the youth.
Inshallah. Yeah. So my final words are, so I would like to address to my young generation where they are getting into a lot of debates in Facebook, so many things, so many fights. So what I would like to suggest is like I would recommend them to watch this program, and this program will tell them there are so many things to ponder and there are so many topics, beautiful topics are there in the Quran to discuss and ponder and do fikr. So instead of getting into debates of on some historical issues and all, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned a beautiful principle in Quran, tilka ummatun qad khalat, there were nations, they passed away. Laha ma kasabat for them what they have earned. Lakum ma kasabtum, for you it's what you earn. Wala tus'aluna amma kanu ya'malun, you will not be asked for what they have done. It's very simple. So you have many things to ponder, you have many things to learn. So read these beautiful people, they have a lot to say, and through these people you can really find your personality, how it gets developed, and you will see your goal, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Allama Shah Nawaz. Thank you very much, Brother Safraz. Thank you, listeners. Do post your comments on our Facebook. Viewers, yeah.
Please share.
And inshallah ta'ala, stay tuned. Join us next week as well.
Inshallah.
We've got a show next week, inshallah. And remember us in your prayers, and stay safe, and stay blessed. Speak to you soon, inshallah.
Assalamu
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 alaikum.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.